Hello, guys. Welcome back to F1 with Mike. If you're still watching, because at this point I think I have deserted my followers, my subscribers. You guys, thank you so much for if you're still watching. If you're a subscriber, I really appreciate you. It's just that I haven't posted in a while, and I think I should be doing better. But I think as I mentioned in my last video, I did move and I'm still trying to get things together. As you can see, my background is so bland. There's nothing there. But then this is still a temporary arrangement, right? The permanent thing is coming. I'm planning towards the 2025 season. I'm sure things will be much better. Even this microphone will be gone. I'll get something better because I know the audio quality is not so good. So I'm trying to make things better, but for sure, for now, we'll manage what we have. And I don't think it's an excuse for me to not have posted anything. But yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. Last time I posted was after the Dutch Grand Prix when Lando gave us quite a performance, and since then, some interesting things have happened in Formula One. I'm never gonna lie. If anyone saw what happened before we got this 3 weeks break, before we get into that, let's talk about the current F1 calendar. I don't get it. We had 4 weeks of the summer break. Then we come back, we have, I think, 4 races. Then we get another 3 weeks? Come on, F1. I don't know who designed this calendar, but I understand, like, okay, yeah, maybe family time and all of that for the engineers is well needed, but still, come on. Last year's calendar was not like this, you know? But I totally get it, and I think a team like Red Bull would actually be very happy with this year's calendar, given what they've been going through recently. If you look at their performance from Azerbaijan, Perez did well in Azerbaijan. I'm gonna give it to him. He did well, but their performance in Monza was so woeful. I think that in that race they were clearly the fourth best car on the grid that day. I think how I don't remember whatever happened. I think maybe Max finished P6 or P5. I'm not sure. No, it can't be P5. I think it's P6 because the two McLarens were ahead of him, the two Ferraris, and the Mercedes of Hamilton. I think George was the one that was behind. But I think he didn't qualify properly that day. So yeah, there's all that been going on. And Singapore though, Max looked good. I wouldn't say he looked good, but he performed. Given the circumstance, I think he pulled out everything he could from that car, and he qualified well. Started P2, race finished in P2. I think it was very good damage limitation for Max in Singapore, given their car is not good around there. So I'm sure Red Bull will take all of that. Even though Sergio struggled, man. Sergio struggled behind Colapinto. Listen, I think I need to make a special video for that guy. That Franco Colapinto guy, that guy is good. Honestly, I think Colapinto is giving me these vibes that maybe we should have more rookies into F1, because I remember last year, beginning of the season, there was no new driver. And now, before we even get to the 2025 season, I think we have almost 5 drivers already confirmed for next year. We have Jack Doohan driving for Alpine. We have Kimi Antonelli driving for Mercedes. We have no, Franco is not driving last. Oh no, Franco is not driving next year because Carlos Sainz is taking over the seat, the second seat in Williams. So Franco is not there. I thought he was gonna be there. Anyway, but we also have Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson is taking over. Yes, Liam Lawson replaced Daniel Ricciardo. Unfortunately, I'll make a video about Daniel Ricciardo. Maybe not now. Maybe sometime at the end of the season, when during the break. So when we have nothing to talk about, we'll look at this in hindsight, whether Red Bull made the right decision or not. But yeah, it's been interesting stuff. Colapinto has been doing a good job for Williams. So yeah, he kept Perez behind in Singapore, and Singapore definitely is very hard to overtake on that track. So it makes sense. And I think even during the race, Perez gave him a compliment that the guy is good, that he can defend, And I think it was with the undercut that Red Bull got Colapinto, and Perez was able to finish the race in P10. Anyway, well, sad days for Daniel Ricciardo. Honestly, I think going back to that, I didn't expect that they would drop him so soon. At least maybe after the US Grand Prix, because man, Daniel is so loved in the US. And I saw somewhere on Twitter that maybe that Daniel actually had a helmet specially made for the US Grand Prix, and now he's not gonna use it. Man, such is life. You make all these plans, and all of a sudden one thing comes up, one another thing comes up, and you're out of the picture. You're out of the picture, and it's just so sad, so sad. Anyway, not, I think I've covered most of the things that happened. I mean, Charles Leclerc won in Monza. I'm sure everyone was happy about that for sure. I mean, except McLaren fans because Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri is a menace, my people. He is a menace. That guy is giving. Listen, as much as yes, we still have something to fight. Maybe to talk about this season when it comes to the championship between Verstappen and Lando. 2025. The way McLaren are moving, 2025 is gonna be spicy. Oh Lord, I can't wait. I can't wait to have that battle. Man, that battle is gonna be interesting. Lando against Oscar. Whew. I know I wasn't smart enough to understand the races between Hamilton and Alonso in because I think in the 2007 season that was Lewis Hamilton's first season. He was in the same car as Fernando Alonso. I think if Alonso had a different teammate, Alonso would have won the world championship that year. But still, Lewis was a very good rookie. To be honest, that guy was very good. And I mean, Oscar is not a rookie, but he's good. He is gonna give Lando a run for his money, and you can see that's why a lot of people have been maybe complimenting him as so they see him as someone that's a world champion, like a future world champion, you know. And well, we'll see that next year, I guess. I mean, I think it depends also how everyone builds their car because getting into the final year of the regulations, all the cars, in fact, even this year we can see in qualifying, the cars are so close by. It's when it comes to race pace, then you can see, depending on the track. But generally, McLaren is good on every track, so they do run away anyway. And Ferrari have been good on some tracks as well. Mercedes are very good in cold environments. I don't know what it is. When it rains, the Mercedes guys, like the car is so good. It's like the car just comes alive, you know. Anyway, going into the race for this weekend is we're having it's at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas, COTA 2024. Now, some interesting things. A lot of teams are bringing up upgrades, yeah. But the upgrade I'm looking forward to is that of Red Bull. Honestly, if it doesn't work, hey, if if the upgrades of the Red Bull don't work, I mean, honestly, what I would say is just man, Verstappen should just go and start praying. Honestly, he needs at least. I think based on the calculation I saw, because of Daniel Ricciardo took the fastest lap in Singapore, so I think, and I saw a post by Formula One. I think I will try and find and attach it to this video. That even if Max Verstappen finishes second in every race till the end of the season, he's still gonna win the championship. I mean, of course, Red Bull don't want it to be that close because it's going to be too close for comfort. And in Formula One, you don't know anything can happen. They can be in a race where you just have a safety car that messes up everything for you, or you have DNF, and anything can happen really. So they at least should have a car. I think Red Bull's goal should be at least between now and the end of the season, at least win 2 races. If they're able to win at least 2 races, I think Max can be able to round up the championship. Maybe 2 races before, maybe the race before Abu Dhabi. So maybe in Qatar, maybe he can win the championship in Qatar before getting. Because if he gets down to Abu Dhabi, that's gonna be too close for comfort. But every car, I think, in this race, every car this weekend, every car is bringing up upgrades. So it will be so interesting to see, and I just hope it gives something interesting because the Ferraris are also looking good. So this is not just about the Red Bull and the McLaren. Now, of course, there's a championship fight that we're talking about, but there's also Leclerc. Mathematically, Charles Leclerc is still in the championship fight, and he can cause a lot of problems for either Max Verstappen or Lando Norris. It depends on what the situation. It depends on how the situation presents itself, right? Anyway, also this is a sprint weekend. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, for my sprint pole position, I have gone with Oscar Piastri. As I told you, that guy is a menace. And he is here for the drama. And you know the crazy thing about Oscar is Oscar doesn't talk too much. You know, he just comes, he does his thing, and he keeps it pushing. Because he ain't got no problem. He just, I'm gonna race my race and I'm gonna keep it moving. That's Oscar for you. But anyway, for the sprint pole position, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Oscar Piastri. And for the sprint top three in the sprint, P3, I have gone with Lewis Hamilton. Because listen, when it comes to quota, any race in America, forget it. Lewis Hamilton, it's like he comes alive. I think him. I don't think there's any driver that has done, because yes, Daniel Ricciardo, we know he's loved in America, but that doesn't mean he performs in America. Well, Max Verstappen performs in America very well. At least for the last 2-3 years, he has been, maybe since 2021, Max Verstappen has been very good in quota. But the only other person I can think of is Lewis Hamilton. And last year, he actually came P2. I think he came like 2 seconds behind Max Verstappen at the end of the race, because Max was dealing with some brake problem or something like that. But it shows Lewis is actually very. I mean, Lewis was also disqualified last year because of plank wear. I think him and Charles Leclerc, P2, P3, they were both disqualified because of plank wear on the car. So that's also something. But yeah, I think Lewis Hamilton will be P3 in the sprint race. P2, I have gone with Oscar Piastri. Yeah, Oscar Piastri. Even though he might be on pole for the sprint, I would say he's going to finish P2. And in P1, listen, this is just bold of me to assume, because I'm doing this thing because I hope it's like this, to be honest. And in P1, I'm going to go with Max Verstappen. So the good thing about Max is, at least I know he can hold the McLaren on the first stint, like when the cars are on high fuel and they're moving. Like if they all start, it's just one dash from the beginning to the end, because the sprint is only 100 kilometers. And I think for 100 kilometers, he can definitely hold a position. He can make overtakes and hold a position. It depends on where he qualifies to. So this is all depending on the performance of the Red Bull at Kota, right? Anyway, so for the race, because we are having sprint qualifying on, I think it should be Friday evening. Yes, Friday evening. Then the sprint race on Saturday morning. Then main qualifying itself, qualifying for the races on Saturday evening. So for the race itself, in pole position, I am going with Lando Norris. Yeah. That I honestly, when it comes to pole positions right now, I can't see past any of the McLarens. Right, the car is just too good. It's too quick. It's so fast. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. And in the race results, top three in P3, I have gone with Oscar Piastri as well, because listen, the race pace of that McLaren, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't see any car coming nearby. It depends on what maybe the package Ferrari and Red Bull also bring. It depends. I'm also not counting out Mercedes. I am definitely not counting out Mercedes. So there's that. And in P2, I have gone with Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen, because honestly, it keeps the championship interesting. That's just it. And I think for him personally, the driver will be trying to find something. You know, trying to at least do damage limitation. I think that's what Max Verstappen is going to be doing till the end of the season. Damage limitation. That's it. Because their car currently is not looking the best, and the best they can do is at least finish P2 if Lando is finishing P1. I think whatever the result is at the end of the day, whatever Max just needs to. If Lando is P3, he's P4. If Lando is P2, he's P3. If Lando is P1, he's P2. He cannot be more than one step far away from Lando in the rankings at the end of every race. That's for now. Except if Red Bull have brought a car that can win races. Now that's different situation altogether. And in P1, as I mentioned, for based on my P2 answer, P1 is going to be Lando Norris. So pole position Lando, P1 Lando, P2 Max Verstappen, P3 Oscar Piastri for the Circuit of the Americas this weekend. And you can put your own predictions as well in the comment section. I'll be looking forward to them. Tell me what you think. Tell me your opinions. And yeah, Formula One is back. At least for the next 8 weeks, we have 6 races, 3 sprint races. Oh boy. Maybe championship fight in Abu Dhabi. Let's see. Fingers crossed. So now, after we have the US Grand Prix this week, next week we have Mexico. Very, very Red Bull track. Red Bull do perform very well. After that, we have Brazil. Yeah, we have Brazil after that. Then I think a 2 weeks break. Then we get Las Vegas, the last race in America for this year. Then we off to Qatar, and then December 3rd, the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. Do you think the championship will go down to Abu Dhabi? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Peace, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.